Who is Recep Tayyip Erdogan? A Turkish politician who started with a rough life and made his way to becoming the mayor of his hometown. He remains the president of Turkey ever since he won the elections in 2014. Recep Tayyip Erdogan is known for being active in politics and serving as a loyal leader to his country. However, a politician wouldn't really be a politician without their infamous controversies, now would they? Welcome to Neapolitan. Today we're going to be looking at the current president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. He founded the Justice Development Party, and this led him to his successes in elections. He's also known for describing himself as a conservative Democrat and has openly promoted multiple conservative policies. His messy scandals during his career have also left a great impression and a damaged reputation on his perspective. We'll be looking at it broken down into 3 unique sections, like Neapolitan ice cream. The vanilla, the who, what, where, and when of the folks that changed the world. Chocolate, that flavor punch. Controversy and adversity make life so interesting. And the strawberry, the lasting legacy and lick that all Neapolitan lives come with. If you're interested in other videos like this or different in-depth looks at essential people throughout history, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with post notifications on so you never miss one. Without further ado, let's get into it. Vanilla. Recep Tayyip Erdogan was born in a poor neighborhood in Istanbul. And to be more specific, he was born in Kasımpaşa, but his family originally started from Rize province, where he mostly spent his holidays during his young age. He was the son of Ahmet Erdogan and Tenzile Erdogan. During Erdogan's childhood in Rize, his father was known to be a captain in the Turkish Coast Guard. He then moved back to Istanbul with his family when he was 13 years old. As he grew older, Erdogan would buy postcards and resell them as a way of earning his money, but his father also gave him an allowance from here and there. He also sold recyclable bottles of water, and he also worked as a street vendor. He mostly sold simit, a portion of Turkish street food which can also be called sesame bread rings. Erdogan also played football at a local club during his youth. Fenerbahçe Spor Kulübü, a Turkish multi-sport club, wanted Erdogan to join their club. However, Erdogan's father didn't allow his son. Erdogan studied and graduated from Kasımpaşa Piyale Primary School and Anam Hatip School. When Erdogan was studying in Anam Hatip School, they were taught to learn and study the Quran, which is a book about the Islamic prophet Muhammad, written in the Arabic language. Erdogan was also given the name Hoca, which translates to Muslim teacher. As Erdogan continued to study, he attended Milli Türk Talebe Birliği, the nationalist student group founded by the National Turkish Student Union. This was when Erdogan started progressing and excelling his oratorical skills in public speaking. He made such great improvements and decided that he should compete in a poetry reading contest. He then went home with a victory. However, Erdogan desired a more advanced education, leading him to study at Mektebi Mülkiye. Unfortunately, the school only accepted students who had regular high school diplomas. So instead of attending Mülkiye, Erdogan proceeded to attend Eyüp High School to receive his high school diploma. 1976 was the year when Erdogan started his political career. He joined the National Turkish Student Union, which was an anti-communist action group. He was also the head of the Beyoğlu youth branch of the Islamist National Salvation Party, which was a political party. Erdogan then joined the Islamist Welfare Party. He was the party's Beyoğlu district chair, and after a year, he became the chair of the Istanbul city branch. 3 years later, Erdogan joined the election as a politician and ended in second place with a 22.8% of the vote. However, Erdogan was barred from taking his position due to the preferential voting. During the elections of 1994, Erdogan ran and was elected the mayor of Istanbul. He ended with 25.19% of the votes. During this time, he was given backlash in the media. He was mocked and treated as the country's bumpkin by his rivals. During his time as mayor, he was handling the problems of Istanbul. There were water shortages, pollution, and traffic complications from left and right. What's impressive is that Erdogan was able to provide solutions for each of the problems. He solved the water shortage with the help of hundreds of kilometers of brand new pipelines. The garbage pollution was fixed by starting a state-of-the-art recycling facility. He was also able to solve the air pollution problem, which is quite difficult considering this is somewhat almost inevitable. He fixed air pollution by changing to natural gas. He did this by changing public transportation gases, specifically buses, to an environmentally friendly one. As mayor, he also tried his best to prevent corruption from occurring. He used the funds prudently, and he paid back a portion of Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality's debt. After all his hard work in improving his city, the international jury from the United Nations awarded Erdogan the UN Habitat Award. Chocolate. Just like every person who has a known name in the world, there are always scandals and controversies that are going to surround your image. In 1998, the Fundamentalist Welfare Party was declared unconstitutional due to the threat of secularism in Turkey. It was shut down by the Turkish Constitutional Court, and Erdogan was the eminent speaker at the demonstrations. In December 1997, located in Suret, Erdogan recited a poem authored by Ziya Gökalp. Here is something you should know. Ziya Gökalp is a pan-Turkish activist, politician, and writer during the 20th century. There was a problem for Erdogan because he recited a poem that read, "The mosques are our barracks, the domes are helmets, the minerals are bayonets, and the faithful are soldiers," which weren't the official words of the poem. However, Erdogan mentioned that the poem had been approved by the Education Ministry to be published in the public. This situation wasn't anything near his luck due to the fact that under the Article 3122 of the Turkish Penal Code, his version of the poem was translated into violence and religious and racial hatred. He served 4 months of his prison sentence, though he was given 10 months, from March 24th of 1999 up to July 27th of 1999. Erdogan was demanded to give up his position as mayor due to the conviction. He was also banned from politics, and that prevented him from joining and participating in elections. The 2013 corruption scandal in Turkey was one of the most known events ever in Turkey's politics. Recep Tayyip Erdogan was still the prime minister back then. There was a criminal investigation that took place during this time, and multiple people in the Turkish government were detained. All 52 people were said to be connected in different ways with the Justice and Development Party. There were a total of 14 people who were accused of bribery, corruption, fraud, money laundering, and gold smuggling. However, among all those accusations were the one that were the center of it all, the gas for gold scheme with Iran. Aslan had $4.5 million US in physical cash kept in multiple shoeboxes around his home. This was also another similar situation with Zarab, who also had around $9 billion US worth of gold trading. They were both arrested after the scandal. People then started to find out all the reasonings behind all these controversies, and it wasn't too long until it reached Erdogan, who was enjoying a tour in Pakistan. Another scandal broke out around December 24th, when a video started circulating around the media that shows Recep Tayyip Erdogan's bodyguard and nephew communicating with the police commissioner. Erdogan was said to be instructing the police to abuse the detainees who protested against his uncle and threw insults at him. Erdogan was absolutely in the middle of the heat with this scandal. A police commissioner was found dead in his own car, and his relatives claim that Yusufdog committed suicide. Strawberry. Where is Recep Tayyip Erdogan now? Some may say he's thriving and leading his country well, but some would say otherwise. However, you might be all wondering what he's up to lately. What are his insights on the pandemic? What are his insights on the current Ukrainian and Russian war? Recep Tayyip Erdogan is said to be one of the few presidents who have made a drastic change for their country. He is said to be famous and said to be a great example amongst the Arab youths. His insights on the LGBT, Erdogan said, "Homosexuals must be legally protected within the framework of their rights and freedoms. From time to time, we do not find the treatment they get on some television screens humane." Though he preached this, his next statement clearly went against his own. He said that the LGBT community in Turkey was against the values of their nation. The next statement about same-sex marriage was absolutely going against his first statement, once again. Ali Erbas openly said in a Friday Ramadan announcement that homosexuality was the reason for COVID-19. Erbas stated that it brings illness, and the people who engage in same-sex relations are responsible for this pandemic. This atrocious statement was replied with an agreement from Erdogan. As we all know, there is currently a war between Russia and Ukraine. This war presents itself as an opportunity for Turkey. Turkey is said to be a defense or somewhat like a wall against Russia during the Cold War. However, that was only a narrative created for the benefits of the Congress. What Turkey actually does not want is to be associated with the sentry on NATO's southeastern defense. Due to many conflicts and bad disagreements in the past, Erdogan sat out Vladimir Putin during the earlier period, or even far before the heat of the crisis. Turkey then continued to purchase Russia's S-400 air defense system, and this put the United States in a tough spot and was forced to pertain in the Turkish defense sector. Many questions were further raised about Turkey's sticky situation after NATO declared or gave a threat of the expulsion of the country. However, there were documents that went against this action. The questions, if Turkey was still part of the West and is it still part of NATO, were definitely the golden questions many asked, and the answer to those is a yes. On Twitter, Erdogan made a public statement that he fully supports Ukraine. Zelensky then thanked Erdogan for his support. However, as many of you think this will be a grudge from Russia, it is in fact the opposite. Russia and Turkey continued to be in a smooth relationship despite the differences. However, just recently, Erdogan has spoken to the Russian President Vladimir Putin, informing that Turkey won't be accepting Moscow's breakaway republics. He of course used words that wouldn't shift their relationship to the bad side. Currently, Turkey is still at a risky relation with NATO due to the current events. Erdogan should maintain this balanced agreement with NATO, or else all hell breaks loose for the country. If you like this video and want to see more like it, then make sure to leave a like so we know what you think and can continue to bring you the kind of videos you want to see. Let us know if you think there was anything we missed or if you'd like to see someone in particular in the future. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the material we've shown or other videos like this. Check out the other videos on this channel for fascinating looks into historical figures just like this. Until next time, this has been Neapolitan, and we'll see you around.